Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Hi, and welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. Hope you're all keeping safe and managing through your teams to get the results you're judged on. As always, please don't forget to drop me a line on whatever you want to engage in. I love feedback on the show, so don't hesitate to send me an email at managermattpodcast@gmail.com. So without further delay, let's get on with the show. Time Bandits. What a great film from the 1980s. Time Bandits was a very strange and very funny film which had a number of different strands in it. Look up on YouTube when you get a chance. Well worth the watch. As before, this podcast isn't around the Terry Gillian classic Time Bandits. No, it's about the time robbers in your working day. Why do we not give away our money or property at the drop of a hat? But we'll easily give away our time. Surely, time is more precious. We only have 24 hours in a day, and we try to sleep 8 hours of them. Well, that's the advice. And in the long run, we only have a finite amount of time on this earth. And as humans, we are very, very, very aware that eventually it will come to an end. But it's funny, when you're at work, and sometimes at home, you let people steal our time from us without a problem, without even a nod. We feel sometimes that we're doing them the favour when they're basically picking our pockets of time. And we all say we've no time in the day to get the jobs done. Whenever anyone asks you, how's work going? You say busy. Oh, really busy. Lots on. Never have time to do it. So how do you spot and maybe stop those crafty time bandits? Now, you could maybe lock yourself in your office if you've got an office, so you don't interact with anyone. You could basically put a big hat on your head with some earphones on saying, nope, I don't speak to people. But obviously that doesn't normally happen, and you really don't get very far in businesses, that's all you do. But I believe, as a manager, there is some steps you can take to make sure that the time bandits are given the opportunity to speak, but in the right frame when you can fit that in. So let's run through a few of the points that I think you could use to really stop the time bandits stealing your time. Now, I have an open door policy was something you will have heard all the time. In fact, you get sick of it. Most managers say, my door is always open, please come in and have a talk, and then the door is always closed. Well, let's reverse it the other way around. Let's be genuine about it. If you do have an office, keep the door open. Then you expect someone to come and talk to you. That is almost a sign. Come in and talk to me. Don't have a problem. But when that door is closed, and obviously it isn't closed that often, it's the time when you need time to think, or you're on an important call. Now, even with that, I'll give you some advice. You'll still get people waving at the window, can I come in? And realistically, you need to train your team and involve them in this process to say, if that door is closed, I'm going to be engaged for X amount of time. Now, that doesn't mean that if there's an emergency and the place is burning down, you're going to go away. You just set down some parameters with your team that if the door's shut, just come back in a bit and I'll let it open. On the reverse, if you're in a shared office, this can be more difficult to show people that you actually don't want disturbing. I've been in places where they have a cone that they put up, so it some sort of says, hi, I'm busy, don't come and talk to me just now. But you've got to be aware in a shared, distracted place, it can be really difficult to do that. Sometimes putting a headset on with both ears covered can help, and I've done it in the past, and I'm a little bit ashamed of it, even when I haven't got anything going on the headsets, I've put them on, just so people know not to talk to me. I'm busy, come back later. One of the proactive things you can do with your team is set them one-to-ones, which I've spoken around before. Get your one-to-ones in on a timely manner, then that's their time to talk. So they won't necessarily come every 2 minutes if they know they've got planned time to talk about it. Of course, the other side of that is making sure that they can come and talk to you if there's an emergency and they're not just waiting for a one-to-one. And have your meetings set up. So have your meetings that are running on time and have some actions that come out. So there might be points where people can discuss the issues that they may come to you and sort of disturb your flow. What you should also do is set up your diary with some times that are definitely locked out to do work. We always expect meetings to drop in, but those gaps will soon fill up. So why not get those gaps filled with meetings that are not for the general purpose, but for yourself to get on with your own work. So you put them as busy, and that means that people, hopefully, if they follow the etiquette, won't book it in. And on the reverse, if they do put stuff in, say no. Turn around and say, no, I can't do that, it's already booked out. Because, someone, at some point, when they say to you, I'm going to put this meeting in, and it comes in your diary, you can say no. And on the reverse of that, when you're walking around and people say, can I have a minute? There's a simple question. Well, is it urgent? Is it something we really need to speak about now? And if they go, no, it's just something I need to talk about, you can say, okay, well, can it wait to our one-to-one, or can I just catch up with you later when I've got a bit more time? And obviously, if they say, well, no, it's urgent, I need to speak to you now, then fair enough. But don't be worried to say no. You've got to get to the point where you can turn around as the leader and say, no, I'm really busy. I know you've got busy and important stuff to do, but I have as well. So let's get that time in our diaries a little bit later. And if people do want to engage, and you do have time to get out of maybe an office environment, why not go for a walk and talk? So do the talking whilst you're going somewhere else in between meetings. In the old days when you used to have a meeting from room to room, have a conversation on the way. And if it's a break of 10 minutes and you want to get a bit of air, go around the car park or go around a local area where you can have a quick walk with someone and they can catch up. It's actually quite good for the soul as well to walk and talk. So your body is engaged, it's moving blood around, makes your brain work a lot better. Now, recently, I've seen some proactive steps by companies to bring in time for people. These are into people's diaries. Some firms call them the golden hour, some it's the light time, it's your time. Then I can see the real positives of this. The worker does need a break from the day-to-day, and it's nice to have the companies thinking, let's put some time in there to do that. But I'm also a big believer that you should run your own diaries, and you should, as a professional, be able to have a break and say no and make time to work. Because remember, you control your time. And as I said at the beginning, it's the most precious thing. You should be looking at this like you do with your stocks and your wages. It's the most precious thing you've got. So don't give it up. Don't give that power up. You are the one who's got to do the work. So if you don't get that work done in the time, you're going to be the one who's working over at the end of the day, working at night, while your directs, they're on the way. They've done what they needed to do. They've got the piece of meat out of you. They've robbed you of that time and disappeared. So just remember, spot your time bandits when you come in. Have a plan and a process to make sure that you can deal with those guys and put some structure into their day. And also, don't fear saying the no word. Oh, thanks for listening. And as always, I'm really keen to hear your thoughts on the show, both good and constructively bad. So please send me your feedback, as it's a gift, to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. I answer all my own emails myself, and I'd love to engage on new topics or revisit some old ones. Right, well, that's it for Manager Matt this week. Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.